Good morning, girls. Happy Friday. I am early this morning because I have an 8:15 gym class this morning. So it was either now or wait until 9:30, and I just decided to jump on now. So, all right, girls, February 6th, manna and quail from heaven, Exodus 16, 1 through 36. This is Winnie this morning. She's been there for about 15 minutes. Then the whole community of Israel set out from Elim and journeyed into the wilderness of Sin, between Elim and Mount Sinai. They arrived there on the 15th day of the second month, 1 month after leaving the land of Egypt. There, too, the whole community of Israel complained about Moses and Aaron. If only the Lord had killed us back in Egypt, they moaned. There we sat around pots filled with meat and ate all the bread we wanted. But now you have brought us into the wilderness to starve us all to death. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Look, I am going to rain down food from heaven for you. Each day the people can go out and pick up as much food as they need for that day. I will test them in this to see whether or not they will follow my instructions. On the sixth day they will gather food, and when they prepare it, there will be twice as much as usual." So Moses and Aaron said to all the people of Israel, "By evening you will realize it was the Lord who brought you out of the land of Egypt. In the morning you will see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your complaints, which are against him, not against us. What have we done that you should complain about us?" Then Moses added, "The Lord will give you meat to eat in the evening and bread to satisfy you in the morning, for he has heard all of your complaints against him. What have we done? Yes, your complaints are against the Lord, not against us." Then Moses said to Aaron, "Announce this to the entire community of Israel. Present yourselves before the Lord, for he has heard your complaining." And as Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israel, they looked out towards the wilderness. There they could see the awesome glory of the Lord in the cloud. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I have heard the Israelites' complaints. Now tell them, in the evening you will have meat to eat, and in the morning you will have all the bread you want. Then you will know that I am the Lord your God." That evening, vast numbers of quail flew into the covered camp, and the next morning the area around the camp was wet with dew. When the dew evaporated, a flaky substance as fine as frost blanketed the ground. The Israelites were puzzled when they saw it. "What is this? What is it?" they each asked each other. They had no idea what it was. And Moses told them, "It is food the Lord has given you to eat. These are the Lord's instructions. Each household should gather as much as it needs. Pick up 2 quarts for each person in your tent." So the people of Israel did as they were told. Some gathered a lot, some only a little. But when they measured it out, everyone had just enough. Those who gathered a lot had nothing left over, and those who gathered only a little had enough. Each family had just what they needed. Then Moses told them, "Do not keep anything until morning." But some of them didn't listen and kept some until morning. But by then it was full of maggots and had a terrible smell. Moses was very angry with them. After this, the people gathered the food morning by morning, each family according to its need. And as the sun became hot, the flakes they had not picked up melted and disappeared. On the sixth day, they gathered twice as much as usual, 4 quarts for each person instead of 2. Then all the leaders of the community came and asked Moses for an explanation. He told them, "This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow will be a day of complete rest, a holy Sabbath set apart for the Lord. So bake or boil as much as you want today, and set aside what is left for tomorrow." So they put some aside until morning, just as Moses had commanded. And in the morning the leftover food was wholesome and good, without maggots or odor. Moses said, "Eat this food today, for today is a Sabbath day dedicated to the Lord. There will be no food on the ground today. You may gather the food for 6 days, but the seventh day is a Sabbath. There will be no food on the ground that day." Some of the people went out anyway on the seventh day, but they found no food. The Lord asked Moses, "How long will these people refuse to obey my commands and instructions? They must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift to you. That is why he gives you a 2-day supply on the sixth day, so there will be enough for 2 days. On the Sabbath day, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out to pick up food on the seventh day." So people did not gather any food on the seventh day. The Israelites called the food manna. It was white like coriander seed and tasted like honey wafers. Then Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Fill a 2-quart container with manna to preserve it for your descendants. Then later generations will be able to see the food that I gave you in the wilderness when I set you free from Egypt." Moses said to Aaron, "Get a jar and fill it with 2 quarts of manna. Then put it in a sacred place before the Lord to preserve it for all future generations." Aaron did just as the Lord had asked and commanded Moses. He eventually placed it in the Ark of the Covenant in front of the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant. So the people of Israel ate manna for 40 years until they arrived at the land where they would settle. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. The container used to measure the manna was an omer, which was a tenth of an ephah, and it held about 2 quarts. Water from the rock, Exodus 17, 1 through 7. As the Lord commanded, at the Lord's command, the whole community of Israel left the wilderness of Sin and moved from place to place. Eventually they camped at Rephidim, but there was no water there for the people to drink. So once more the people complained against Moses. "Give us water to drink," they demanded. "Quiet," Moses replied. "Why are you complaining against me? Why are you testing the Lord?" But tormented by thirst, they continue to argue with Moses. "Why did you bring us out of Egypt? Are you trying to kill us, our children, and our livestock with thirst?" No, no. Then Moses cried out to the Lord, "What should I do with these people? They are ready to stone me." The Lord said to Moses, "Walk out in front of the people. Take your staff, the one you used when you struck the water of the Nile, and call some of the elders of Israel to join you. I will stand before you on the rock at Mount Sinai. Strike the rock, and water will come gushing out. Then the people will be able to drink." So Moses struck the rock as he was told, and water gushed out as the elders looked on. Moses named the place Massah, which means test, and Meribah, which means arguing, because the people of Israel argued with Moses and tested the Lord by saying, "Is the Lord here with us or not?" Israelite defeats the Amalekites. Exodus 17, 8 through 16. While the people of Israel were still at Rephidim, the warriors of Amalek attacked them. Moses commanded Joshua, "Choose some men to go out and fight the army of Amalek for us tomorrow. I will stand at the top of a hill holding the staff of God in my hand." So Joshua did what Moses had commanded and fought the army of Amalek. Meanwhile, Moses and Aaron and Hur climbed on top of the hill of a nearby hill. As long as Moses held up the staff in his hand, the Israelites had the advantage. But whenever he dropped his staff, the Amalekites gained the advantage. Moses' arms soon became so tired he could no longer hold them up. So Aaron and Hur found a stone for him to sit on. So they stood on each side of Moses, holding up his hands. So his hand held steady until sunset. As a result, Joshua overwhelmed the army of Amalek in battle. After the victory, the Lord instructed Moses, "Write this down on a scroll as a reminder, and read it aloud to Joshua. I will erase the memory of Amalek from under heaven." Moses built an altar there and named it Yahweh Nissi, which means "the Lord is my banner." He said, "They have raised their fists against the Lord's throne. So now the Lord will be at war with Amalek, generation after generation." No biting. No. 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 I'm going to smack you. No. Jethro's visit to Moses. Would you like to find a new place to sit, Woody? Listen, this is not your time. Stop looking at my neck! Stop. It's time to lay down. Time to lay down. Come on. Lay down. Jethro's visit to Moses. Exodus 18, 1 through 12. Moses' father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian, heard about everything God had done for Moses and his people, the Israelites. He heard especially about how the Lord had rescued them from Egypt. Earlier, Moses had sent his wife Zipporah and his 2 sons back to Jethro, who had taken them in. Moses' first son was named Gershom, for Moses had said when the baby was born, "I have been a foreigner in a foreign land." His second son was named Eleazar, Eliezer. I don't know how to pronounce that one. It's not Eliezer. I don't know. Eliezer. For Moses it said, "The God of my ancestors was my helper. He rescued me from the sword of Pharaoh." Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, now came to visit Moses in the wilderness. He brought Moses' wife and 2 sons with him, and they arrived while Moses and the people were camped near the mountain of God. Jethro had sent a message to Moses saying, "I, Jethro, your father-in-law, am coming to see you with your wife and your 2 sons." So Moses went out to meet his father-in-law. He bowed low and kissed him. They asked about each other's welfare and then went to Moses' tent. Moses told his father-in-law everything the Lord had done to Pharaoh and to Egypt on behalf of Israel. He also told about all the hardships they had experienced along the way and how the Lord had rescued his people from all their troubles. Jethro was delighted when he heard about all the good things the Lord had done for Israel as he rescued them from the hand of the Egyptians. "Praise the Lord," Jethro said, "for he has rescued you from the Egyptians and from Pharaoh. Yes, he has rescued Israel from the powerful hand of Egypt. I know now that the Lord is greater than all the other gods, because he rescued his people from the oppression of the proud Egyptians." Then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and sacrifices to God. Aaron and all the elders of Israel came out and joined him in a sacrificial meal in God's presence. Jethro's wise advice, Exodus 18:13 through 27. The next day, Moses took his seat to hear the people's disputes against each other. They waited for him from morning until evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that Moses was doing for the people, he asked, "What are you really accomplishing here? Why are you trying to do all of this alone while everyone stands around you from morning until evening?" Moses replied, because the people come to me to get a ruling from God. When the dispute arises, they come to me. And when I am the one who settles the case between quarreling parties, I inform the people of God's decrees and give them his instructions. "This is not good," Moses' father-in-law exclaimed. "You're going to wear yourself out and the people too. This job is too heavy of a burden for you to handle all by yourself. Now listen to me, and let me give you a word of advice, and may God be with you. You should continue to be the people's representative before God, bringing their disputes to him. Teach them God's decrees and give them his instructions. Show them how to conduct their lives. But select from all the people some capable, honest men who fear God and hate bribes. Appoint them as leaders over groups of 1,000, 150, and 10. They should always be available to solve people's common disputes. But have them bring the major cases to you. Let the leaders decide the smaller matters themselves. They will help you carry the load, making the task easier for you. If you follow this advice, and if God commands you to do so, then you will be able to endure the pressures, and all these people will go home in peace." Winnie? Winnie, where are you at? Winnie Beans. Get down. Can you see her? Looking up over the edge of the couch? Winnie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get down. Oh my word. Moses listened to his father-in-law's advice and followed his suggestion. He chose capable men from all over Israel and appointed them as leaders over the people. He put them in charge of groups of 1,000, 150, and 10. Did I already read that? Whatever. These men were always available to solve the people's common disputes. They brought major cases to Moses, but they took care of the smaller matters themselves. Soon after this, Moses said goodbye to his father-in-law, who returned to his own land. The Lord reveals himself at Sinai. Exodus 19, 1 through 25. Exactly 2 months after the Israelites left Egypt, they arrived at the wilderness of Sinai. After breaking camp at Rephidim, they came to the wilderness of Sinai and set up camp there at the base of Mount Sinai. Then Moses climbed the mountain to appear before God. The Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "Give these instructions to the family of Jacob. Announce it to the descendants of Israel. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians. You know I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you will obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my own special treasure from among the people on the earth. For all the earth belongs to me, and you will be my kingdom priests, my holy nation." This is the message you must give the people of Israel. So Moses returned from the mountain and called together the elders of the people and told them everything the Lord had commanded him. And all the people responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded." So Moses brought the people's answer back to the Lord. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will come to you in a thick cloud, Moses, so the people themselves can hear me when I speak with you. Then they will always trust you." Moses told the Lord what the people had said. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go down and prepare the people for my arrival. Consecrate them today and tomorrow and have them wash their clothing. Be sure they are ready on the third day, for on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai as all the people watch. Mark off a boundary all around the mountain. Warn the people, be careful. Do not go up on the mountain or even touch its boundaries. Anyone who touches the mountain will certainly be put to death. No hand may touch the person or animal that crosses the boundary. Instead, stone them or shoot them with arrows. They must be put to death. However, when the ram's horn sounds a long blast, then the people will go up on the mountain." So Moses went down to the people. He consecrated them for worship, and they washed their clothes. He told them, "Get ready for the third day, and until then, abstain from having sexual intercourse." On the morning of the third day, thunder roared and lightning flashed, and a dense cloud came down on the mountain. There was a long, loud blast from the ram's horn, and all the people trembled. Moses led them out to camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. All of Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because the Lord had descended on it in the form of fire. The smoke billowed into the sky like smoke from a brick kiln, and the whole mountain shook violently. As the blast of the ram's horn grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God thundered his reply. The Lord came down on top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses climbed the mountain. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go back down and warn the people not to break through the boundaries to see the Lord, or they will die. Even the priests who regularly come near the Lord must purify themselves, so that the Lord does not break out and destroy them." "But Lord," Moses protested, "the people cannot come up Mount Sinai. You already warned us. You told me, mark off a boundary around the mountain and set it apart as holy." But the Lord said, "Go down and bring Aaron back up with you." See, Moses just didn't want to keep climbing the mountain up and down, up and down, up and down. But the Lord said, "Go down and bring Aaron back with you. In the meantime, do not let the priests or the people break through to approach the Lord, or he will break out and destroy them." So Moses went down to the people and told them what the Lord had said. She's found a place to settle. Look how cute. It kills me when she does that. I think it's the cutest thing ever. Isn't it cute? Are you cute, Winnie? It's her new favorite spot. Oh, it's always the face. It's always the face. In my ears and blah, blah, blah. All right. We are on page 171, just about a third of the way down. Revival is an incredible important part of the path for those of us who are on our way to agreeing that our bodies are good. Why is it important? These are two areas of revival I'm interested in: personal revival and collective revival. Here's why. First, on this path to believing our bodies are good, we rename what the world has maligned in order to return to what God has said about us from the beginning. We gather the grace that's been offered to us and discard the negative words that have been spoken over our bodies. We pick up the first name given to us by God, good. We live in that name. We shake our heads yes, and we agree with it. Second, we give our bodies rest by declaring that they are good. They're not a path to becoming better or acceptable because they were already made good. We learn that we can move our bodies and take care of them in love without provocation, without treating them like projects to finish or problems to fix. Third, we experience restoration. We remember what our bodies are for: worship. Worship is the space in which we experience God, encounter His goodness, and remember some of the best news about our bodies: that we won't experience them in this fallen state forever. But in the meantime, we seek to understand what it looks like to be in awe of God in our bodies. We could stop there, and even if we did, we would notice some positive changes in our own lives. Or, once we internalize this message for ourselves, we can speak it out using the same truth and language for the love of women around us. We can keep it to ourselves, or we can witness a collective healing, the restoration and renewal of a generation. We can have partners to run forward with into restoration, and there will be no turning back. I think we want both personal revival and collective revival. We don't want to settle for just having a new set of ideas. We want to be fully changed, and we want to bring our sisters along for the ride. All right. Let me just scroll back. Oh, I still feel like she's licking my ear. Oh, me too, Susan. I am so ready for this stupid snow to melt. Are you moving away, Lois, or just getting a different house? Sarah, I'm 48, well, 47 and 3/4 of a year old, and I still picture the manna in a ball jar. That's still how I picture the manna. It's in a ball jar. And I picture it almost like wet chia seeds. That's what I picture. You know how chia seeds get all like gooey around them? That's still what I picture to this day in a ball jar. Well, I'm very early this morning, Karen. That's why I'm so late. I mean, that's why you feel late. It's because I'm actually early. Because I have the gym in. Oh, you're moving to Tennessee. We've been looking at lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of houses in Tennessee online. We haven't actually gone and looked at them because it's really hard. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't know how we're going to do it with Winnie Beans. Go look at houses, but especially where I want to be. It's a 6-hour drive from here to where I want to move. So, anywho, all right, girls, let's go ahead and pray. God, our Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the connection that we have together to be able to come before you, our God, virtually like this, virtually as women, and bow our heads together before our King. And God, I pray that this moment of worship to you is honors you, God. And I just thank you so much that we have the ability to do this, and how it's changed the lives of some of the women here, and how it certainly has changed my life gathering before you together every day. God, we just thank you and praise you. God, I lift up each woman here to you with all the many things that are going on in their lives. We pray for Lois, and pray for the selling of her home, and that will happen on your timing, and hopefully quickly, and in an easy manner, that the house sale will go well, and that they will be able to relocate at the time that they need to. God, I know there are lots of things in this community, heavy, difficult things. I think of Kay and her healing, and we just ask for strength and healing for her. I think of my family's friend Glennis, and we pray for her today, that you would heal her, strengthen her, and help her through this process of cancer. And God, we lay all of our burdens and concerns and worries at your feet today. Help us to leave them there and not pick them back up again. God, as we go through this day, help us to make choices that are honoring and healing to our bodies and strengthening to our bodies and honoring you in the way you would have us to. In your precious name, amen. Yes, if you would please put our friend Glennis on your prayer list, family friend who is struggling with cancer right now. It would be greatly appreciated by myself and by my husband and his family if you would pray for her. Glenice is how her name is spelled. So if you just add Glennis to your prayer list, we would very much appreciate it. I just said appreciate as though I'm English. Appreciate. Mini rice cakes have always been where my mind goes, as far as manna. Rice cakes. That's so funny. And Mary feels like it looks like Nooch. Karen thinks of vanilla wafers. Isn't that funny how we all have a different vision in our head? Well, maybe we'll get to see the jar of manna someday in heaven, right? Florida for 3 weeks. That sounds awesome. We've actually looked at some houses in Florida too. Probably going to stay right here forever, even though we really want to move. We really, really want to move. It's crazy. We just got here. You want to come down, dog sit, Faith? That would be awesome. Well, it was kind of a bit of a drive to my house just to come dog sit for 2 or 3 days. That's the hard thing is you got to find like 10 houses so that you can make your trip worthwhile. So you're not just running over one day to look at one house, driving 6 hours to look at one house. You got to find like a bunch, and you find 2 or 3, and then you start to make a plan to go, and 2 of them go under contract. And so it's just, I don't know. It's just a pain. I think we should go over and rent and then look for a house just like we did when we moved down here. But that would mean 2 more moves, and I don't really have that in me. Look, I can't stop showing her to you because look, she's sound asleep. Look at the Winnie beans. Oh, that's the sweetest ever. She's so comfortable. All right, my friends. She's got to get woken up and drug into her kennel, much against her will. She's not going to want to go because she's comfortable, but she's got to because I've got to go work out my body. I love you girls. I hope you have an amazing day, and there will be a Zoom later today in the movement group. It has not been posted yet, but will as soon as I have a couple of things I'm waiting on to see what time. But we'll go live in Zoom if you're free. If not, there will be a replay in the movement group. All right. I love you girls. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all for devotions tomorrow morning.